Hi, I'm Caleb.
And I'm Brock.
And welcome back to your daily video announcements.
Today for lunch we have chicken Alfredo, steamed broccoli, a cheesy breadstick, cucumber slices, apple, and a cold milk.
Now let's take a quick look at your sports and activities week at a glance.
First up, this Friday is the Student-in-Chief elections. Check out these advertisements.
I'm Caleb Rose, and I'm running for Student-in-Chief. My issues I'm campaigning on are equal rights for members of the LGBTQ+ community, term limits for congressmen, and I'm also pro-business. I've been in 4 years of Hornets studios, 2 years of drama, multiple years in multiple different sports. I'm the representative leader that you need for Valley Center High School. Make sure to vote for Caleb Rose for Student-in-Chief. This message was funded and approved by Caleb Rose and his supporters.
Hello teachers, my name is Sid Sears and I'm running for Student-in-Chief. I'm running on the issues of pro-Second Amendment, tough immigration laws, and voter ID laws. I'm here on Senior Skip Day because I want your vote. I'm Sid Sears and I approve this message.
Hey, I'm Tate Shirley, and I'm running for Student Chief. Take a walk with me. Let's talk about my 3 issues are LGBTQ+ rights, reforming the war on drugs, and protecting the Second Amendment. I'm here on Senior Skip Day because I'm getting work done, and also I want to help the underclassmen. As an independent, I care about issues on both sides, even those including Texas. I'm Tate Shirley, and I approve this message.
Now let's take a look at today's holidays.
Next, let's take a quick look at your top 5 stories of the day.
Hi, I'm Aiden Smith, and these are your top 5 news stories of the day. First off, jurors begin deliberations in Chauvin trial. Number 2, every American adult is now eligible for COVID-19 vaccination. Number 3, Biden tries new bipartisan sit-down to push infrastructure plan. Number 4, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signs anti-riot bill into law. And number 5, Valley Center mask mandate upheld again at second hearing.
And now for a quick blast of the past, let's look at today in history.
March 21st, 1965. Civil rights demonstrators led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. begin a march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. It happens weeks after marchers pushing for black voting rights in the South are attacked in Selma. The marches lead to the passage of the Voting Rights Act months later. 1960. In South Africa, police fire on a crowd of blacks in what becomes known as the Sharpeville Massacre. Some 70 people are killed, more than 180 wounded during this bloody chapter in that country's apartheid years. 1989. Randall Dale Adams is released from a Texas prison following a dozen years behind bars for a crime he did not commit. Adams's conviction for killing a police officer was overturned after the documentary The Thin Blue Line challenged the evidence. And 1685. Composer and organist Johann Sebastian Bach is born in Germany. Today in history, March 21st. Ross Simpson, The Associated Press.
Last, let's head on over to weather with Ryan Goebel.
Welcome back to your daily weather forecast. Today it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 54 with the winds to the northwest at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Tonight it's going to be cloudy with the low of 36 with the winds to northeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour. That's all for weather. Now back to you guys in the studio.
That's all for today, so make sure to stay classy, VC.
Alright, so we had a question about police dogs. I obviously don't have one, but I know a thing or two about them. Basically, once a department gets the funding to purchase a police dog, which is average between training and actually purchasing the dog and stuff, you're looking at almost like $60,000. So those are expensive pieces of equipment, and that's why sometimes they're treated more like that, because you can't make them more friendly. They're actually a working animal that needs to be kept so. So anyway, if I were to become a canine, I'd be sent down to Texas, is where we purchase our dogs, and I'll attend like a 2 to 3 week training program where they see if I can get bonded with an animal, and once they go through all that training process, then I will come back and have a police dog. But the dogs I know have to go through a lot of training processes while they're younger. Generally, when you get a police dog, it's about a year or two old. They have to detect a lot of different things. I know one of the things that's getting outsourced now is like, because you'll have a police dog for multiple years, you don't want to buy a dog that can detect marijuana anymore, because if marijuana becomes legal and the dog is hitting on the car that there's a substance in there and it is marijuana, then that's technically an illegal search. So now I know they're starting to try to outsource those, but still, Kansas, it's still illegal, so currently that's still good to go. Cool things about the police cars for the dogs is they actually have detectors inside of them, so it'll automatically turn on and off the AC or the heat depending on the weather temperatures outside. And generally the dog handlers will have something on them that will tell them if the car's getting too hot or too cold or whatever. So they're constantly monitored even when the vehicle is running. I can pretty much, dogs are useful on car stops, because if I don't detect anything, but I feel like there's something this person might have that's illegal on them, if there's a dog available, we can run the dog around the vehicle, and if it hits, that gives us our probable cause, which allows us to get into the vehicle. So that's one of the things that's really helpful. Valley Center doesn't currently have a bite dog, because those are even more on the insurance side, and I'm sure you can understand why. Generally, those dogs, a lot of people think that they're trained to like seek out the bad guy. That's not necessarily true. It's pretty much like anybody who pertains that direction. So if an officer is the first thing that dog finds, it will also bite an officer. So it's the responsibility of the canine handler to make sure that when it is released, it's on target of where it needs to go. Because you definitely don't want to bite another officer with your dog. So that would be a bad day. Anyway, if you guys have any other questions about law enforcement or anything, let us know and we'll try to answer your question.